Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. We're in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is the most important hour of the day for me because I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based on how the price closes at the end of the day. During the day, you have the algorithms and the day traders. They are just trading the market up and down. I consider it mainly noise. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with a lot of money, very smart people, best information, best technology, and they start making their end of day decisions. And I believe following what they do at the end of the day for your buying and selling decisions does give you an edge in the long term. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. I appreciate you investing the time here and making time for the show. And I hope you're learning some good things here in the show as far as correct trading principles and investing principles. All right. Well, interesting day today. The Dow Jones is currently up 38 points. So up 0.12%. The NASDAQ is up 42, up 0.31%, and the S&P is up 1.75, up 0.04%. So kind of a muted day, but there have been some swings in this day for sure. We've been green and red and all over the place. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage the trades going forward. I did have 3 day trades today, very even and balanced. 1 losing trade, 1 break-even trade, and 1 winning trade. So I will show you those on Apple. After that, I am going to go over to the board and we're going to take a look at your current positions and see how those are working out today. I see some, I do see some green over there. I see some red. I think I see more green than red. So we'll take a look and see how all of that looks. After that, I'm going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important part of the day for me, most important skill you'll ever learn and acquire in trading. I assure you, for those of you who've been trading for years, you know that is the case. It's pretty easy to learn how to trade. It's pretty easy to learn how to put together a trading plan, but following that plan is a whole different animal. So I like to talk about that each day in the hopes that it will sink in and you will internalize it and you will work on your discipline, which is the most important fact. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner as well. As you know, I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. The first, I have to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number 2, I need to have a good risk to reward based upon good, solid support below me for my stop. And I look at strong and likely resistance above me for my reward side. So if I'm going to risk $100, I want to be able to make at least 200 or more to the upside based on those parameters. And then number 3, just kind of in general, before you hit that buy button, make sure you really need that trade. Make sure it's a good, clean trade. Things are lining up. Make sure you don't already have several other stocks in the same industry. Let's get some diversification in our positions. They don't all have to be in equities. They can be outside. They can be in bonds and gold and silver, the dollar, right? And then also keep a look at your account heat. How much of my total account do I have at risk? Even if you're long and short, your longs can go down and your shorts can go up. You never know. 60% is the maximum for me. I can only put 60% of my capital at work. And that's a great rule that I learned from Steve Burns. All right. So, I'm going to go down through, I do have some end of day candidates. So as we near the end of the day, I will go through with a fine tooth comb, look at the risk to rewards, look at the multiple time frames, look and see how many indicators we have lining up. And if something does qualify, I will let you know what it is, and I will take that position right near the close of the day. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, just type them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, give you my humble opinion on, I'm very happy to do that. Put them in the chat and put an asterisk or emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you have any new entries or exits for me today that you would like me to put up on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day, I would really appreciate that. That way the show's over, I'm done trading, I'm done teaching, and the pressure is off, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get everything updated. Okay, so I am going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back about 40 seconds. See you in a minute. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's see who is here today. Tracy Peterson is #1 on the board. Lova, she got you. Good to see you, Tracy. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to our call tomorrow night. Dan is here with the peace sign. Right back at you, my friend. Lova is here. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good day. David, how you doing, sir? Nice to see you as always. Kamal is here. Good to see you, Kamal. Hey, Kamal, look at the VIX chart. Remember, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, I told you I liked it here, but I wasn't going to take the trade. Wow, it really has moved. But thank you, Kamal, for everything that you do for this channel. I really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else does. Gary is here. Hello, Gary. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Lova says SBH, no sideways move, but strong weekly uptrend, strong daily uptrend, and a V2 today. All right. Yeah, I don't like it at all. Look at these two monster bars we've had down here on huge volume. Weekly, big reversal, rejection of the 200. Yeah, I don't like it, Lova, at all. It would have to settle down here. We are in the value zone. That's good, but it's going to have to settle down, consolidate, and look for a V1 trigger to go back up. But I just don't think it's there yet. So that's just my opinion. Johnson, good to see you, Johnson. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Greg and all. Lova says Dash, V2. Yes. I am looking at Dash today as well, so we'll go over that in a minute. Steve, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for coming, my friend. Always an honor and privilege to have Steve here. And just like I mentioned, Kamal, thank you so much, Steve, for everything that you do for this channel. I'm sure everyone appreciates it. I certainly appreciate it. And hope you're having a good day. Frank is here. Hello, Greg and Goop. Good to see you, Frank. Dan says, hello, Steve. Thank you for your teachings. I agree. Miko, hey, what's up? How you doing, Miko? Nice to see you. Steve says, the Trader Viz scanner added the Steve Burns moving average crossover signal to its scanner with their name, the Trade Viz scanner. Well, congratulations. Congrats. That is great. You know you've made it when they start putting you in scanners and trading platforms. Congratulations, Steve. That's awesome. Okay, let me take a look at something. Okay. All right. That's great. Kamal says the VIX trade did go up nicely on that trade. Yeah, I liked it. That's why I typed that to you. What I liked about it, I like this higher low V2 here while MACD was positive. Yep. You know me, I would have taken half right here on this bar. Bob is here. Good to see you, bub. Hope you're having a good day. All right, let's get to it. It's been a great day, I have to say. It's been a fantastic day. I'm very grateful for that. Okay, we have a lot to do today. So here we go. Johnson, Steve, Yas, and myself, we did take the 1030 EMA crossover on DocuSign, DOCU, 245.61. A couple days later, it reversed down with the V1. I didn't like that. I sold half there, still at profitable levels, but I did sell half, but I'm glad I kept half today. It is up 2.9% today, and I did hit one profit target today at 253.74. I have another one up there at 258.58. Who knows? Maybe it'll get there before the end of the day, but nice profitable trade so far. GLD. All right, so Gary, Morgs, and I did buy GLD back on the 5th of February at 169.73 with the under 250, close under 250, close over 250. My stop would have been a close below the 250 yesterday. Had a big gap up day, closed below the open. I didn't like that, so I did take half off right here, but I'm glad I kept half. And another big gap up today, but again, closed below the open. I sold at 172.48. I think I'm going to get out of this trade today. I can wait until I get a close above the 200-day, but the risk to reward, and I don't like that we've closed below the open. If we close above the open, I will keep it. But if it does close below the open again, like it did yesterday, I'm just going to take the whole trade off and lock in profits. Johnson & Johnson, yes, Dan, Johnson, and myself did buy Johnson & Johnson with this nice pullback to value, false breakout to the downside, V2. Bought it here at 161.64. Had a big gap up day a couple days ago. Took some profits yesterday. I think maybe we hit one profit target and then hit another profit target today at 166.36. So this trade is up nicely, and this I won't have to do anything with this trade. This one's looking good. I'll just let it be. MasterCard. I did buy MasterCard back on the 1st of February at 322.36 with this bounce off the 200-day moving average. Next day went up big, rejected the 50. I got out of half. Kept going up after that. Profit targets, profit targets. Yesterday we had closed below the previous day's low. I sold another half, so I only have a quarter of this position left. I'm just going to let this one be at this point because the entry was a close under 200, over 200. And I've got in there with my discretionary moves. But now with a quarter left, I'm just kind of free rolling on this. I will use the 200-day as my end of day stop. Or, of course, if we get up near the 70 RSI and rejects it, I would take half. And then if we get a close below the previous day's low after rejecting the 70, I would get out of another half. But anyway, this one's a nice, easy trade for me from now on. Glad I sold half yesterday. NTVA. All right, so Gary and Johnson, was that it? Oh, Gary, Johnson, Quad, and Johan. We all bought NVTA yesterday. Nice little return to value. Nice V2 under the 50 SMA, over the 50 SMA, under the 50 RSI, over the 50 RSI, and a 520 to boot. It is up 3.98% today. Did hit one profit target today at 52.67. So good start to this trade for sure. SPY, well, had 5 or 6 days of profitable SPY. Today was not one of them. I did buy yesterday at 390.51, sold the open at 389.55. I don't know if I've ever had 6 days in a row of overnight SPY ups, but it was fun while it lasted. But again, I did take a loss. I bought it at 390.51 and sold it at 389.55. TLT, well, Johnson, Gary, Frank, and I did buy TLT yesterday with the under the negative third channel, over the negative third channel, under the 30, over the 30. I bought it at 148.56. Earlier in the day, went up really, really nicely. I'm glad I did take some profit here at 149.24. Now it's come all the way back, almost back to break even. I mean, it's still profitable. I was discussing this with Kamal, but my gut on this one is, you know, we came from a lower low. We bounced, we reversed back down. I'm just going to be cautious with this one, and I'm just going to sell it at the end of the day. Hopefully it's still positive, and I'm just going to sell this one at the end of the day because I just don't like this price action. We rejected the 5-day, and we came from a lower low. I'm just happy to have made money on this trade, but I'm going to get rid of this trade at the end of the day unless it miraculously closes up higher. Gold, of course, not gold, sorry, oil. I know everyone's probably getting tired of this trade because I've had it for a million years, but it has been a good trade. I did buy it at 30.97. It's 39.18. This trade is currently up almost 21%. I did buy it on the monthly. Deep dip buy in the monthly. Deep dip buys work on any time frame. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, and a V2. So I've been in this for 2 months and 10 days, but over 20%. So I'm very grateful for that. Zoom has just been a monster. Yas and Jatin and I did buy Zoom back here, returned to value V2, bought at 381.51. Next day it went up. We hit some profit targets, but the next day we rejected the 50. That's my signal to sell half. Do I wish I had the full position instead of half? Well, sure, but I'm very happy that I still have half because it has rolled up at like a monster. It's up 5% just today. I hit a profit target at 419.75 and 428.69. So this is a big trade. This trade is up 11.76% in the last just over a week. Nvidia, all right, so Yas and Jatin and myself did buy Nvidia at 542.17 with the 520 and the 1030 EMA crossover. Went up the very first day, came back down. I didn't like that price action, so I sold half, but luckily I saved half because it has roared up since then. No profit targets today. It is down just a little bit, but hasn't rejected any key levels, so I will be keeping it. All right, lastly, I'm going to go backwards on Apple because this chart is such a hot mess because of all my trades, and I apologize for that. But first trade, I bought this higher low V1 with the bullish engulfing bar, meaning we're higher and lower than the previous bar. Really, the reason I bought this was because MACD was positive. Higher lows that happen with positive MACDs are always better. I bought it at 136.43. Then I had a big nice up bar here. I sold half at 36.57 and kept riding it up, and I sold the other half when it rejected the 50 at 136.96. So that was my winning trade. 136.43 out at 136.57 out at 136.69. So let me see if I can get rid of. Okay, that was the winning trade. I believe we have the break even trade here. Close under, close over the 200. I bought here at 136.60. Next bar went up strong. I sold half at 136.75. Then we came back down here. Then here I finally lost the 200-day at 136.48. So I made from 136.60 up to 136.75, and I lost from 136.60 down to 136.48. Actually, I think if you add that up, I did make a little bit of money even on that one. And then lastly, oh, I erased that. Here we go. I saw this bullish engulfing bar here. I didn't want to chase it, so I waited for the next bar to come down. I wanted to get as close as I could to the 50, which I got pretty close. I got it at 136.70. It immediately went my way. I thought I had a really good trade. My stop was a close below the 50 EMA, or the 50 SMA, and it happened there. So, but wasn't bad. I got in at 136.70 and I got out at 136.66, but I did give up some profit. So all in all, not too bad and profitable. All right, so we do have Frank in Apple at 111. It is currently 136.49. So Apple is down today a little bit, but Frank is still nicely up on the trade. Okay. Love says NVTA weekly upgrade V2 520 crossover, but still in the value zone. All right, let's take a look. I'm not going to be able to look at too much today just because we have so much on our plate. Oh yeah, this is the one I have, right? Yeah, this is the trade I have. Weekly's consolidating. It's good. In the weekly, it's in the value zone, which is good. But remember, we took that yesterday right at 50.81. Like to see MACD go positive. Well, off of its highs, only up 3.72% today, but still a good trade. Frank Jatin is here. Good to see you, Jatin. Okay, Frank has a poem. Let's get to Frank's poem. The power of the market is as vast as the sea. It branches strong like the mighty oak tree. So pay it respect and just let it be. No one can control it. Believe you me. Yeah, I second that. No one can control it. We all control it in a way, but in the aggregate as a group, but not one person. Well, maybe that's not true. There probably is one or two people out there that could do something that would move it. But let's read it again. The power of the market is as vast as the sea. Its branches strong like the mighty oak tree. So pay it respect and just let it be. No one can control it. Believe you me. Excellent, Frank. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that as always. David says, congrats, Steve. Very exciting to have your own indicator. I think Steve has a couple indicators now, right, Steve? You have one on TrendSpider, and then on the one that you just mentioned, TradesViz. Ah, that's great. That's great. Jatin, okay, remind me at the end, please. Steve says Dash has a 520 EMA crossover. Yes, Dash is on my radar as well. Johan, good to see you, bud. You're having a good day. Steve says Domino's Pizza. Let's put Domino's Pizza down here. Let me do some of the math on Domino's Pizza. Okay, DPZ. Got it. Gosh darn it. Look, everybody, my chart's not working on Domino's Pizza, at least right now. This is yesterday's date. I don't know what's going on with this. Holy smokes. I have really had some issues with this because today's the 9th and that's the 8th. Oh, boy. Steve says Facebook has a 520. Yep, that is on my list as well. Steve says, yes, the indicators are on TrendSpider. Trading View. Oh, you have a Trading View one, and now TradesViz. Congrats. You know you've made it when they have the Steve Burns indicator, right? That is great. That's right up there with Dr. Alexander Elder and Larry Williams having those indicators. Proud of you, Steve. All right, let's get to your trades and see what's going on. Oh, come on. Should have taken that trade, huh? Look at that. That's a beauty, eh? That's a beauty. Okay. Nobody had VIX. SLG. Lova bought SLG at 64.92 at 64.24. It is down on the day, and it is down on the day as well for Lova. FCX. Johnson has a half position from 29.72. It's 31.85. It is down a little bit today, but he is up on the trade still. So congratulations there. Qs, this is Frank. Frank's in from 284.60. We're at 333.83, and we are up slightly today on the Qs. So very nice trade. CRM, Frank bought a quarter position of CRM at 216.80. I think Kamal bought that as well up there. Just ran up. Beautiful trade. I think Kamal got out here or here. But it is down today a little bit, but Frank is still nicely up on the trade. Nike, Steve and Frank bought Nike at 139.59 with the 1050 EMA crossover. Moved sideways, then up, and then we had a big up day. And then the last couple days have come down a little bit. It is down 0.63%, but Steve and Frank are still nicely up on the trade. Shopify. Okay, this is like the most amazing thing. Kamal bought the low at 1081, the absolute low. Look at this trade. Kamal sold the rest of his position here at 1420, excuse me. Went a little higher, but it's come back down. But what a trade, Kamal. I mean, you know, from entry to his final exit was about 20, almost 24%. Fantastic. Edit, Johan bought Edit, I think yesterday at 63.71. It's down 5% today, but Johan is still in the money. That's pretty impressive. So it is down on the day, but Johan is still up on the trade. JMIA, Karen bought JMIA at 45.60. It's 64.96. It's up another 6% today. What a trade, Karen. Congratulations. INAQ, Frank bought INAQ at 15.90. It's 18.09. It is down almost 5% today, but Frank is still in the money, which is good. Coca-Cola, Timothy bought Coca-Cola at 48.52. It's 49.80 with the rejection of that 200 of the 30 RSI and the rejection, the bounce near the 200. So that is down a little bit today, but Timothy is still in the money. FSLY. Oh, I was looking at this earlier for Kamal, so nobody's in that. Square, Johan and Jatin bought Square at 245. Johan bought it at 237.67. Wow, so down in this area and up huge. Up even today again. Congratulations, Jatin and Johan. PLTR. Yas bought PLTR at 32.27. Johnson bought at 32. Johnson sold half. It's up 4% again today, so nicely up on the day and up on the trade. Ramble Ron bought SOLY at $9. Beautiful trade. SLV. Pat, if you're out there, thank you for your email and the update. I don't know if Pat is still in silver or not. She bought at 24.71. It's 25.34. So it is down a little today, but she's up on the trade. This is a monster trade that Frank took here at 135. It is 316.50. What a huge move. I mean, just what a huge move. I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. I'm very, very proud of Frank on that one. LITE, Gary sold credit spreads, the 80.75s, expiring February 26th. So this has to stay above $80. It is above $80, so that's good. Avid, Frank bought Avid at 19.25. It's 23.69, up nicely today as well and up on the trade. RDFN, Jatin and Morgs bought it at 82.50. It's 90.89, up 2.5%. That's a monster trade. Congratulations, Jatin and Morgs. ISRG, Tracy. Tracy is in ISRG from 745.50. It is 780.61, up 1.38%. And Tracy looks like she's holding on to about a 4.5% gain. So congratulations, Trace. VIAC, Karen bought VIAC at 52.50. It's 55.02. It is up on the day and nicely up on the trade. Teladoc, Frank bought Teladoc all the way down here at 182. It's 288.52. It's down 2% today, but it's up huge on the trade. So congratulations, Frank. And Frank did sell 90%. And Jatin's in from 284.50. So it looks like everyone's still up on in the money there. AMD, Yas bought AMD at 88.80. It's currently 91.23. It is down a little bit, but still nicely up on the trade. Tesla. Jatson bought Tesla at 840. It's 845, so still in the money for Jatson. Kamal shorted up here about 874 in spirit, not a real trade, but in spirit. So it looks like both Jatson and Kamal are in the money on their decisions. Budweiser, Frank bought Budweiser at 62.81. It's 65.01. It's down a little bit today, but still up on the trade. Goldman Sachs. Steve bought Goldman Sachs with a 520 crossover at 288.65. It is 300.93. It is up a little bit today, but it looks like Steve is up 4.11% on this trade. Excellent, Steve. NIO. Wow. Johnson sold NIO puts expiring February 12th, $55 for $175 a contract. And Johnson got in from 55, has a half left, and Morgs bought yesterday at 50. Well, I'm not sure there. Morgs here says 59.07. This is up 5.67%. So excellent. PDD, Karen, in at 181.20. It's 189.90. Up on the day, up on the trade. GILT, Karen, up at 1270. It's 1922. Karen has had some amazing trades. Congratulations. CAPR, another Karen trade at 704 at 791. She cannot be stopped. Roku, Jatson, nice trade. Jatson at 402. It's 466. It's up 7.38% just today. Surf, oh, this one. David bought at 1088, had a huge first update, gave a little bit back today, but David is still nicely up on the trade. PLTR, Johnson is out of half. Yass is in at 32.27 and up on both. QLYS, Kamal, nice Kamal. Bought at 122.10. It's at 129.60, up 2.22%. Looks like earnings are tomorrow. And last but not least, Karen with another great trade on CLVS at 845. It's 1032. Down a little bit, but nicely up on the trade. Frank says, I don't know anyone else that could be looked up on a chart. Congratulations, Steve. Oh, I agree. Morg says, hi, Greg. Hey, Morgs, good to see you, buddy. Steve says, epic trade on shop, Kamal. That was epic. Morg says, NIO Dawn. I don't know what that means, but I have you in NIO. Gary says, fantastic, Kamal, doing well. Frank says, Kamal, thumbs up. Yavar, hey, Yavar, good to see you. AAL, let's take a look at American Airlines. Gosh darn it. This is one of those ones that for some reason is not updating. It's only showing yesterday's bar. I don't know, like the big stocks, I am not having an issue, but I did an upgrade with Trade Navigator, and it seems like ever since that, there's been some data issues. So unfortunately, I can't comment because I can't see today's bar. Yavar, sorry. Tracy says, Kamal, would you sell ISRG now? Kamal says, thank you, Steve, Gary Burns. I don't know. Kamal is going to have to answer that, whether or not he would sell ISRG. Actually, I know what he'd do, but I'm not going to say. I'll let Kamal answer that question. Okay. Okay, so listen, before we turn our attention to a possible end-of-day trade, just want to stop, change gears for a minute, get away from charts, and talk about some trading psychology, or talk about some good trading words of wisdom, or things in trading to think about that hopefully will help you in the long run. This is from our good friend Steve Burns, who is in the chat with us right now. My favorite poster, Steve, you can find him at @SJosephBurns on Twitter. I'm sure most of you have subscribed, and if you have not, please do. Read everything that Steve posts. It is worth reading. And by the way, visit his website, newtraderu.com. He has great e-courses you can take. All of his books that he has courses on options. Of course, you can find all of his books on Amazon. I would suggest reading all of them. You know, Steve has had such a huge positive effect on my trading over many years, and so I really do want to thank Steve, and you know, that's why I'm saying check out his books, check out his courses, not because I'm trying to sell them, I'm not, just because they're that good and I think they will help you. But let's see what Steve has to say. Trade a position size that your emotion and egos can handle. This is so important, everybody. The most important part of trading, in my opinion, is how many shares of something you're going to buy. That's why with my students, you know, when I talk to them before we start our lessons, I'm like, look, we need to come up with a number, a very important number. And that number is, what is your maximum allowed loss on any one trade? Doesn't mean you're going to take that full loss all the time, but for emergency stop sake, I need to have a number. And I mean, a good rule of thumb is 1% of your capital. So if you have $100,000, 1% of that is $1,000. You divide that by the 2 ATRs. That tells you how many shares to buy based upon where your stop is. I don't use 1%. It's too big for me, right? For years, I've used 1/4 of 1% as my maximum loss. This year, I bumped it up to 0.5%. Still not a ton, but it's still twice what I'm used to. But you know, Steve says here, trade a position size that your emotions and ego can handle. You will never trade better than when you have a small position size. I promise you. Why? Because your emotions don't get revved up. Fear and greed don't kick in, and you just trade your process. But of course, if you double, triple, quadruple your position size, your trading process can pretty much go out the window because your emotions are going to take over. So, you know, just a suggestion from me. You have to trade a position size that's large enough to make a difference, but it's not so large that it's going to get you out of your groove and get you away from trading your plan. So give it some thought. A good rule of thumb, 1%. It's a little heavy for me, but with a smaller account, it may make sense. I know people that trade 2 or 3%. It's just what you get acclimated to. But as a kind of starting out as a good rule of thumb, if you have $25,000 account, 1% of that is what? $250. Right? Take 250 divided by the 2 ATRs, will tell you exactly how many shares to buy. But this is very important. If your position size is too large, your emotions and your ego may battle you and try to get you off of your plan. So you have to pick a position size, a maximum risk that is still meaningful, but still allows you to trade your plan without deviating from your plan. So give that some thought. Thank you, Steve. It's very important. I'm a big, huge believer in position size and entries, of course, but right, position size to me is even more important. So thanks, Steve. Appreciate that, bud. John wants to look at QS. QuantumScape? Man, I apologize, John. This is another one. It's just not showing up on my charts. This is yesterday's data. Gosh darn it. I apologize, buddy. I don't know why. A lot of stocks are just not updating for me today. Apologize. I don't know, maybe Steve or maybe Kamal could look at QS and give an opinion. Steve says Spotify has a 1030 EMA crossover. All right. Okay, I have Spotify. So let me write that down. Let me do some numbers. That's a 1030 EMA. Okay. And Kamal says, Tracy, I would not sell, maybe take off a third if you are uneasy about it. The other option is to move the stop loss to 760. Excellent. David says, Greg, since you increased your position size, what percentage of your portfolio is normally invested? Not that much. Let me think. I have not got anywhere near 60. I can tell you that. I don't know, 30%, 30, maybe 35. 35 is probably about the average. So about a third is invested. So pretty conservative, right? But this year's been a fantastic year. I mean, the return this year has been really great. I mean, even on that small of an amount invested. But look, half a position size is really conservative, right? If I was double that, maybe I would be at the 60s. Yeah, says, thanks, Steve and Greg, for the pointer. I am still at 0.25% risk per trade of port size for most trades. It does help with sticking with the plan. It totally does. It totally does. I mean, look at my oil trade. It's up over 20%, and I never even think about it. I never even think about it because it's on a monthly bar, meaning that my position size is small, so I don't even think about it. Look at this. Can you imagine if I had a huge trade? Do you think I would have held through all this? No way. No way. All right, before we start looking at new trades, let me take a look at current trades, which are more important. All right, DocuSign is looking good, up nicely. I don't see any reason to get out of this, do anything with this. Gold, like I said, I am going to sell gold. I'm going to lock in profits on gold today unless we close above today's open. I don't like, yesterday we closed below the open, today we closed below the open. It could go zooming up tomorrow. I don't care. I could also grab it over the 200 at this point. But we've come from a deep dip. Now we have gaps all over the place. Big gap here, big gap here, gap here. So the gaps concern me. The close below the opens concern me. So as long as it closes today below its open, I will go ahead and just lock in profits on gold. Johnson & Johnson's doing swimmingly, nicely. No reason to mess with that. MasterCard down. Did sell half yesterday with close below the previous day's low. I only have a quarter position of this, so I'll just be keeping this one. I'll just be playing it off of the 200. NVTA is doing fantastic, up 4.86% today for me, so, and for Gary and for Johnson and who else? Quad and Johan, excellent. So the only reason I would get out of even part of this is if we close below the 50 RSI, but it looks pretty solidly above that. SPY, of course, had the overnight SPY loss this morning, but I will be buying that again today. TLT, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get out. It was a one-day trade, hit a profit target higher. I don't like the reversal. I don't like we're closed below the open. I don't like that we rejected this 5-day. And so I think I'm going to go ahead, just look for a better setup, a cleaner setup. This one has confused me all day long. Normally when I get confused, I sell half, but in this case, I'm just going to lock this in and just take this off. Oil, we talked about that. Zoom is just a monster. I could definitely talk myself into selling half here with the rejection of the 100-day moving average, but I think I'll just keep. This has been a great trade. And then Nvidia, yeah, Nvidia is down a little bit, but I'll be holding on to this. All right, so let's look Facebook, first on deck, does have a 520 crossover, which is a valid back test for Facebook. A lot of sideways motion, and we have a close, the 5 closing over the 20. It's above the 50 RSI. Me personally, I'm going to avoid this one. I don't like this big bar here with the big volume. I could see us rallying to about halfway of this bar. I could see us maybe getting up, I don't know, $4 from here. But I think I'm going to pass on this one. I don't like this big move down on the big volume. We have rejected the 50-day moving average, which doesn't really normally factor into my decisions on a crossover, but you know, I can't help but notice that. So, but the 520 EMA crossover is valid, but I personally am going to pass on this one. Dash, I do like Dash. We're into the value zone, sideways motion. Yesterday we had the false breakout to the downside and reversal back up. It's a pretty clean trade. I know exactly where my stop is going to be. The V2 triggered here today. Here's day 1. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 is definitely above day 1's close. We went under 50, over 50. We went under the 5, over the 5, under the 10, over the 10. My stop will be halfway of the washout bar. This is the washout bar, so right about here will be my stop. How far could it go? Well, it could get up into here, so it does make sense from a risk to reward ratio. And by the way, you know, let's just say I was going to risk, I don't know, $2,000 on this trade. I'd take $2,000, I divide it by the value of the 2 ATR, which is 39.21. And now I know how many shares to buy. 51. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? But if 51 shares go $39, it's $2,000. That's my emergency stop. I'll put my emergency stop $39.21 below my entry. So if I buy here, oh my gosh, that's so far down I have to move it. But that would be, right down about here would be my emergency stop. My end of day stop will just be here if it closes below 179.40 in the future. If it closes below 50 RSI, I would also get out of half. So I do like DoorDash here. UNH, Kamal and I talked about UNH earlier. It is a nice false breakout to the downside. Probably went under 30, over 30, but it's a little chasey. We're all the way back up to 40 RSI. I still think I like DoorDash better. Domino's, unfortunately, I can't look at this, everybody. Apologize, this only shows yesterday's data. Darn it. Kamal, would I like it? Would I like Domino's Pizza with the 520 or not? And Spotify. Oh wait, this is today's data. So I think Steve said that's a 1030. So let's look over on the Spotify chart. Oh yes, the 1030 does work there. Yeah. I like Dash and I like Spotify. Facebook is also good, but I like these two better. So here's the 1030 crossover. Worked out well last time. And then I do like Dash as well. Now, I'm going to get to work real quick, and I am going to sell to make room for these. So I'm going to get rid of gold. Lock that in. And I am going to get rid of TLT. All right, so I made room here by selling gold and TLT. Looks like Apple's making a low on the day. All right, so I'm putting gold and TLT over here, just so everyone heard. I did sell gold, I did sell TLT. And I'm going to put up here Spotify. And Dash. You know what? I am also going to sell Zoom. This was a huge big move up, rejection of that 100. I think I'm just going to look for something with a little better risk to reward ratio. And again, it's because I'm adding these new positions. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of Zoom and just lock that in, reduce my positions. All right, so I am out of Zoom as well. Well, DoorDash is coming back into a reasonable level here for the buy at least. That's good. Tell you what, I am going to buy a half a position of Spotify on this crossover, not a full position. All right, so I am going to buy a full position of Dash, but on Spotify, with being a little extended like this, I am going to buy a half a position. So that's my plan. I'm buying a full position of a Dash, and I'm buying a half a position of Spotify. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So Dash, I bought a full position. Spotify, I bought a half position. And I sold gold, I sold TLT, and I sold Zoom. One, because it's such a big up day, and two, the rejection of this 100 just makes sense to me. I had a lot of positions. I wanted to make room for Spot and Dash. So I'm out of Zoom, TLT, and gold. Frank says, I think DPZ will deliver. Do you think so? In 30 minutes or less? Steve says dash cross back under. So we had the cross back under on dash. I still like dash because of the sideways motion and the V2. Johnson says higher low V1 on dash. This isn't really a higher low. We had a you say higher low V1 on dash, still good. Depends where you're saying that the higher low is coming from, but this, I mean, it's higher than over here, but this is just a perfect return to value, sideways motion, false breakout, and trigger to the upside. So that's why I bought it. So Apple down $1 now. So a couple minutes to go. That's a bummer I can't see Domino's Pizza. Okay, we have 1 minute to go. About 30 seconds. All right, that is it. All right, so let's see where I got filled on all this. SPY got filled at 390.25. Dash got filled at 186.77, and the half Spotify at 334.03. So overnight SPY $390.25, almost where I bought it yesterday. A little lower. Dash 186.77. Oh, that's good. Got $1 on there almost already. Again, my stop will be halfway of the washout bar, close below halfway of the washout bar. I'll just put that right there right now. And then Spotify, half position for me. If it comes back and the 1030 still stays, then I will add my second position. But it's kind of my favorite approach on crossovers lately has been to buy half positions if they're at all extended. And it's a little chasey. It's 2 days up. So, all right. So listen, if you have any new entries for me today or exits, this would be the time to just go ahead and put them in the chat. And I'll get to them and get them all updated. Real quick, before I do, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I'm pretty good at it. And I know the course that I teach is a good course. It teaches you everything I've learned in my 25 years of trading, everything I've discovered, everything I've learned from all of my trading instructors, mentors, and coaches. It's 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I know you're going to be a better trader, and one-on-one is the best way to learn. I'm telling you, I promise you. And so if you are interested in taking this course with me, the cost is, well, it's $1,000 right now, but starting February 6th, I am increasing it to $1,750. I haven't increased my prices for 2 years, and I have a lot of students, so just something I have to do because there's only one of me and there's no more hours in the day. So if you have been thinking about it, this would be the time to get them scheduled before February 16th so you get the lower price. All right. So if you are interested, just send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter and just say, Greg, I'm interested in your one-on-one course. I'll reply, say, great, let's set up a Skype call. Skype call's free. I just want to learn more about you and your trading and your goals and your challenges. And then it's a good time for you to ask me any specific questions about the course. And then when we're done with a Skype call, you can think about it. And if you decide you want to schedule it with me, you can just email me back and we'll get it scheduled. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would certainly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you leave. It really does help to build the channel. It lets YouTube know that there's good content, and so they'll get it out there and promote it. So if there's anything that's been helpful that you've been learning lately, I would appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button before you click on out of here and get on with your day. Okay? All right. Let's see. So Steve is long dash. No. Domino. Okay. Let's start with dominoes. DPZ. And apologize, this doesn't show today's bar. I have no idea why, but let me just see where Steve got long here. 383.39. 383.39. Okay, so that is Steve. $10.30. $10.30. Oh. 10.30 EMA cross for Steve. Steve is also long Spotify. Steve Burns is long dash. $187.06. 520 EMA cross. Okay, Morgs and Dash. And Spot. Johnson is out of FCX. He is out of TLT. He's in a half position of Spot. Okay, B, L, and K. Okay, Frank sold at cost and bought Domino's. Okay. Where did Roku go? I think that's an excellent place to take half. Very nice, Jetin. Karen is out of PD. Okay. UAVS. Bought at 12. Ah, this is yesterday's bar. All right, well, it will update overnight, so I will just put in here Karen at 12:32. Man, I do not know why my charts are doing this. I called them the other day too on something else, and I ran that update, and ugh. Gary is out of TLT. Wow, TLT started out very promising. I mean, it still was a positive trade, so let's be positive about that, but it gave back a lot. Okay, got you out there, Gary. Looks like Gary is also out of gold. And in Dash. Okay. And then Zoom. I took off Zoom as well. Big day today. It was a really, really great day. It was a really great day. This has been some kind of year so far, I'll tell you that. Wow. Gary said, took some profit on TLT earlier for that. Yep, I did as well. I did as well. That's why I like profit targets. They always make you feel better, especially on days like today. All right. Well, listen, before I leave, just want to go over this like I try to every day, but I'm a real believer in this. This is from Martin Kornfeld. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. And this is something I really believe in, and I try to do every day, and I try to do it for a human. One nice thing, and I like to try to do it for an animal, one nice thing. And I know both the animal and the human will appreciate it, makes them feel good, and also makes me feel good. It's just good karma, right? I think it's just good karma to go out. And if we all did something like this every day, the world would be definitely a better place. So that's why I like to show this every day. And maybe if you look at it, read it, you go out there, and we'll all improve the world a little bit that way. So, does anybody else have any questions for me? If you do, this would be the time. It's cold outside today. So I'm going to put my hiking clothes on, go for a little hikey. What's happening after hours here? Apple's up a little bit. DoorDash is down. Dow's up a little bit. Goldman Sachs is down. Qs are up a little bit. SPY's up a little bit. What's VIXY doing? Unchanged. Interesting. Gary says, have a great day, Greg. Enjoy the hike. I certainly will. Thank you all for coming today. I really do appreciate it. On the way out, like I mentioned before, if you have a chance and, if you did find something that was helpful today on this channel, if you could hit the thumbs up button before you click out of here, I would really, really, really appreciate that. So good trading, everyone. Oh, wait. I saw Steve says something about, okay, Steve's out of Nike. Okay, did Frank hold Nike? So I'm out of Nike for a 2.02% gain on the bearish reversal. All right, so Steve is out. Good trade there, Steve. And I don't see anything from Frank about getting out, so I'll keep him in here. And out of Snow. For a 3.63% gain as the break out of the trading range fell twice today. Yep, we came here, failed, we went above, failed, went above, failed. So I'm going to take Steve out of Snow. Good analysis there, bud. I think we got everything. All right. Well, listen, thank you all for coming today. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, which is Wednesday, during the during the last hour of the market. Take care, everyone. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.